On the ship in MoonHaven Season 1 Episode 5. Tom assaults Arlo after learning that he has located the flower. Arlo threatens to throw the compass off the boat into the water after trying to talk Tom to death. Arlo's mechanical arm is caught in the ship's door by Tom, but he manages to take it off at the shoulder and swim away with the flower. Indira has a conversation with a concerned Icon member in the envoy's office on MoonHaven concerning the lunar resistance. He believes Tom will attempt to obtain both EO keys, and Indira vehemently tells him that she will locate the missing council chair. Mate. In the woodland, Mate discovers a group of dandelions that appear to point the way. Together, Mate and Loa discovered the first dandelion on MoonHaven, and Mate pictured them as gardening volunteers. Loa was concerned about appearing more like a plant than a volunteer on MoonHaven. Mate noted Loa's enthusiasm for discovering new things while exploring MoonHaven and advised her to enjoy exploring the forest by herself. Loa entered Primo through a large triangular gate before disappearing. Now Mate enters the forest by himself, approaching the same gate. While Indira meets with Sonda in hopes of receiving news, Bella travels to visit the envoy. Indira is concealing the fact that Mate was seen entering Primo. Bella comes, and she discusses Mate's ideas of an extraterrestrial culture visiting the moon in quest of EO. After Sonda has departed, Bella tells the envoy about Mate and her mother Loa. She says that Loa has passed across to be with the alien race, and Mate thinks they can communicate with EO. Bella is instructed by Indira to murder Mate and to keep in mind what is genuine and what isn't. Indira and Sonda can authorize the ships to arrive without Mate if she passes away. So Paul demands that they dance before going to work. So Bella goes to his place. He gives her a map of Primo, describes how the landscape is changing, and offers to accompany her as she sets out to learn the truth. Arlo appears with the flower in one hand and his arm in the other before they can go. He gets his arm fixed, and then they talk about how the flower functions as a compass. While Paul and Bella follow Mate, he intends to take the flower to the envoy for protection. The finding excites Arlo. Sonda is concerned when she learns that Arlo has the flower while she and Tom camp out in the desert with the rebels. She isn't as certain as she is that the bridge will be destroyed. He observed Mate dead inside the Singer and Sonda, and activated the EO key to allow the ships to dock. Mate's mother, who is obviously dubious about everything and concerned for Mate's mental well-being, talks to Paul in the forest about Mate's ideas about her mother and the alien species on EO. Bella is certain Mate is lying, and while Paul wants to support her, Bella is aware that Indira would rather Mate was dead. When Indira sees the flower in the envoy's quarters, she immediately requests that they follow it to its destination. Blue urges them to destroy the bloom, but Indira insists they allow her to see where it goes because she will be protected by EO. Just in case, Arlo and the others accompany her. In the Primo, Paul and Bella discover tombstones that were left there following the uprising. Bella questions how Paul can continue to trust MoonHaven when everything has started to go wrong. Despite his concerns, he is resolute in his faith, and is aware that he is a part of something far greater. The wiser than he appears, Paul assures Bella that he won't permit her to murder Mate. They discover a community of gazers living more simply beyond the glade as they explore. The observers assert that EO has been restless and unsettled, violently spasming and altering the surroundings at will. The gazers inform Paul and Bella that mysterious figures have been spotted at the edge of the woods as they disclose their quest for Mate. A gazer named Zek spotted the same wild small child that Bella had spotted as she fled through the glade's wall among the woods. Paul doesn't believe Bella when she describes the youngster Zek saw, but Bella is certain of what she saw. Paul has no trust in the impossibility, despite her best efforts to persuade him that the kid is genuine. Bella storms out by herself as he asks whether she believes her mother is still alive. Arlo, Indira, and the other Mooners proceed into the desert once the flower has passed through the MoonHaven gate. When Indira approaches the tree, Bella sees the kid with the flower in it. It suddenly lights up with a dazzling orange glow, and begins to develop leaves as they struggle to breathe. Arlo discovers the tree is made of the same composite as the flower after touching it. Arlo learns that all of MoonHaven's lineages are preserved in or on the tree when a leaf falls and writes out their names when they touch it. This discovery might completely destroy MoonHaven's civilization as they know it. Arlo orders the Lunars to remain in place, but just then, Tom and a group of the Unmarked, all armed, arrive. Guns are effective now that they are outside of the glade, so Tom uses one to kill a Mooner. In response to the violence, Io starts to change the surroundings. Everyone but Indira is killed when the Mooners and the envoy flee, including Arlo, who gets one final look at Earth from the moon's surface. Bella and Paul awaken in the jungle, and Paul is filled with fear. As they begin to awaken, Mate watches them and motions for them to come. In a flashback, Mate questions Loa, Bella's mother, about the things that keep her from painting. Loa acknowledges that she left her daughter behind and that she now regrets leaving Earth. She wants to return to Earth and thinks about Bella every night, which clearly irritates Mate. In the present, Paul and Bella encounter a sizable precipice as they pursue Mate through the forests. When they attempt to speak with Mate, she responds that the bridge is meaningless. Instead, she asserts that Loa has discovered a new path ahead and that she serves as a link between the present and the future. Mate reveals that she regrets doing what she did to keep her on the moon when she wanted to go when Bella attempts to claim that her mother is dead. Bella is astounded that Loa wanted to get back together with her, and enraged when she learns that Mate faked her death to stop her. Mate attacks Bella with a knife, but she counters that this is just the beginning and not the end. Mate allows herself to slide backward down the cliff and into the fog before Bella can intervene. The youngster from the wilderness leaps onto Bella's back and flips her over as she is staring down at where she landed. Paul is able to hold on and let go of the infant with Bella's assistance before returning to the cliff's edge. Paul notices the youngster as they are fighting because she has glowing eyes and can somehow float and control her moment in space on her own before floating over the cliff. Blue runs into them as they make their way back to the glade and hysterically tells them that everyone has died. As they observe the sky, Tom and Sonda command the first ships to land on the moon. Elna anticipates everything being all right as she stands in front of Paul's home and stares up at the sky. What did you think of episode 5 of season 1 of MoonHaven? Comment below and subscribe.